I am here at the WSIS Forum 2012 with Mr. Genc Pollo, Minister of Innovation and ICT of Albania. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'd like to start our interview by asking you what has Albania gotten out of participating in a number of WSIS forums, including the WSIS Forum 2012, and how do you find yourself here?
I mean, I like to come to Geneva. It's a nice place to start with, but more to that is the WSIS Forum and various other activities organized by ITU are quite useful. I find them so, and I hear that my colleagues from other countries think the same. It is a good platform where people from across the world with responsibility in the sector, responsibility for the information society, come together and tell about their experiences, their successes, their challenges, their difficulties, and we learn from each other, comparing notes, but also it's good for knowing each other and making connections, making a network that will help us, all of us, in the next weeks, months and years. So, I mean, it's a smaller world, we used to say that, but especially since the internet, it's really a smaller village because we've grown so interconnected, 24 hours, 24 online, with your handheld device in your hand or in your pocket. I mean, you can't escape it. Whether it's good or bad, we can discuss, but we try to look at the good side of it and to minimize the other side.
What are Albania's priorities in terms of projects for ICT and innovation?
Well, it's a clear priority. We've got a strategy and a work plan, an action plan. We've got an emphasis on e-government. After starting with e-education and modernizing our schools with IT-connected labs, reform curriculum, etc., then we tend to bring every services that the government provides among government agencies first, and then to citizens and to businesses, all online. It's quite efficient, it's effective, it cuts red tape, it avoids hassles, it avoids abuse of office, if you want, and it's an incredible tool in modernizing. And I will come back to that if you want. I will mention a third tier of our multi-pronged action. It is to close the digital divide that exists. I mean, we have urban population and rural population. We have rich areas, we have less rich areas. And by the action of the Albanian Post, we've opened 550 public access points where people, mostly younger people, but generally of all ages, come and have free access to internet, and that will be with the second wave of the project will be quadrupled, the figures of the points all over the country. And that creates demand, that people, have the first contact, those who have it, and then they come again and they see the benefits that being connected, having internet access brings to them, so that creates further demand for the sector. A sector that is well regulated, with guarantees for competition, so that there is incentive to invest, to operate, to make profits, of course. This is the business side. On the e-government side that I mentioned earlier, we have the Interops project, and that's code for interoperability. And it's a challenge, legal, political, also technical, to connect every single agency online with the others. And they exchange, what used to be a request for information, signed, drafted on paper, signed with a pen, and then sent by courier or post, received 2 or 3 days after, registered. Now it can all happen if the systems of each government agency is connected online with proper procedures, with proper security protocols and on. And that can happen in a second or 3 seconds. Yeah. So you save time, you do things better, and actually, I mean, you can use the rest of the time and the rest of your resources to improve in general, or to save, given the general situation. You can save money out of it, but it's even more visible and tangible when you the advantage of it is even more visible and tangible when you deliver services to the public, be it citizens requesting, I don't know, a birth certificate or something similar, or businesses applying for a permit or a license. They can do it online. They don't need to sit face to face with the public official. They don't have to queue to several counters getting the papers, the documents around, and then collecting them and go to the final one, to the agency that issues the permit. They can be identifiable via their digital identity, our ID card, and that's a possibility. And by these identity verification, they can give and receive and make transactions, and that's quite a revolution for government, I think.
What are the impacts that you have been able to already observe from the implementation of strategy? Very clear-cut impacts.
Look, I mean, 3 years ago we adopted all procurement. We moved all government procurement online. Albania was the first country in the world to have 100% electronic procurement. And that was the reason that the UN gave us 2 years ago the Public Service Award. It was a ceremony in Barcelona. I had the privilege to be there and receive it by the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Zhao. And there are several benefits. I will mention just one. When it was conventional procurement, the rate of saving was 8%. When the first year after we did electronic procurement, the rate of saving, so the selection of the lowest bidder, went down to 50%. And now I understand that has gone down. So public money, taxpayers' money, has been saved. We receive the same services for less money. And there is plenty of things that usually don't go that well with procurement have been avoided because people don't have to know each other, don't have to meet each other. They just apply online, they submit their bid, their offer online, and then the selection committee doesn't have to have contacts with people. When people who give and take must have contacts with each other, sometimes things might go wrong. I mean, electronic procurement, that possibility is severely reduced.
Mr. Pollo, thank you very much for this interview, and we look forward to hearing more from Albania.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.